Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my case analysis presentation today, April 5, 2025. I am Janice Virigon, taking up MAED ELM and currently a first year student. To begin with, this is the case scenario given to us. The superintendent of a school division wants to determine whether a new teacher mentoring program significantly improves teacher performance scores. A sample of 15 newly hired teachers participated in the mentoring program, while another 50 newly hired teachers did not. Performance scores at the end of the academic year were collected and analyzed. The results indicated a p-value of 0.03 in a test comparing the two groups. The first task is to identify the null and alternative hypothesis for this study. So my null hypothesis here is that there is no significant difference in teacher performance scores between teachers who participated in the mentoring program and those who did not. And the alternative hypothesis is that there is a significant difference in teacher performance scores between teachers who participated in the mentoring program and those who did not. Next is to analyze whether the null hypothesis should be rejected based on the p-value, which is 0.03. So, first, what does p-value mean? So, this is the number that quantifies the likelihood that a null hypothesis is true. A small p-value means that the null hypothesis probably should be rejected, and the larger p-value most likely means that the alternative hypothesis was correct. So, bringing to the answer, with a p-value of 0.03, should the null hypothesis be rejected? Again, the hypothesis is that there is no significant difference in teacher performance scores between teachers who participated in the mentoring program and those who did not. My answer here is yes, the null hypothesis should be rejected because a p-value of 0.03 is less than the commonly used significance level of 0.05. This means that there is a less than 3% chance of observing the obtained results if the null hypothesis were true. Therefore, we have sufficient evidence to reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is a statistically significant difference in teacher performance scores between the two groups. Last question is that what are the implications of these findings for educational leaders making policy decisions on mentoring program? Here goes my answer for that question. These findings suggest that the mentoring program is effective in improving teacher performance. Educational leaders should consider expanding the program, perhaps refining it based on further research, and allocating resources to ensure its continued success. This could involve providing more comprehensive training for mentors, adjusting the program's structure, or providing ongoing support to both mentors and mentees. The positive impact on teacher performance could lead to better student outcomes and overall school improvement. And that would be all. Thank you very much, and again, good afternoon, everyone.